the conservative members of the influencing media, if you want to call it that. And I mean, there are people that I watch. I mean, True North, I watch their stuff. Juno, Northern Perspective, Rebel News, David Menzies, Ezra Levant. I remember watching them at Adamson Barbecue in Etobicoke, Ontario during the scamdemic when Adam Scully and the boys wanted to just serve up some nice brisket. I remember watching those live streams, and I've been a big supporter of the conservative Canadian influencing media. But I mean, I'm just taking them at face value. But when Maxime is saying that, yeah, all these conservative influencers are getting paid substantial amounts of money, which, my goodness, can I get a check like that too, please? And they're not being allowed to interview Maxime so that Pierre is not losing any of the base. It's like, well, no, that's the whole purpose of Maxime's purpose, is to draw the system over to the right, preferably the radical far extreme right, nationalistic right, is what I want to see happen. Like, I've used this analogy before, but did you hear Pierre only wants to do 250,000 immigrants a year instead of 750,000? Yay. Isn't that awesome? Only a 250,000. No, I don't want a 250,000. I want zero. I want zero, and I want the ones that aren't supposed to be here to get the out. I want them out of my country. They're not supposed to be here. So like that is a huge element to that I'd like to see just fixed and remedied, which is not going to be solved. I'll put this out here. If Pierre was open to having an interview with me, I've reached out to them multiple times, and every time they've been nice. They've responded and said, nope, not interested, sorry, going to decline. But I would love to have them for an interview. I just ask questions. I'm curious. I love listening and learning as well. Maybe I'll push back on a few things maybe I don't totally agree with, but I'd love to kind of like pick his perspective. I'm 100% on board with Pierre's mentality behind work ethic and having that truculent mentality of testosterone, adversity defying willpower that he has described beautifully many times, that, you know, if he's going to go fight for his country, it's not going to be easy, and that he's going to go wake up every single morning and go do it to the best of his ability. Do I think that he has done the best of his ability? I would argue no. But again, I'm neutral. I ride right down the middle, play a little bit left, play a little bit right, and kind of see what I like and what I don't like. And I think Maxime Bernier right now is really the only person I'm seeing with a true solution to the problem. Like 98% of the problems he's on point with and about to solve. And when you consider the fact that, again, they have changed the rules so that he can't go to the federal leaders debate for the elections in 21 and 25, okay, it makes sense. They don't want him to tell his ideas because you will listen and you will like them, right? He can't get on mainstream media anywhere because they don't want him to get his ideas out there because he will take things by storm. And when you factor in that he got, I think, 5% of the vote last election, and what did the NDP get, like 7%? And the NDP got 5 seats in there. They're trying to, I don't know what they're trying to do. They're trying to do like a whole socialist rebrand. So we've been doing that for 70 years, dog. It's time to move on. But Maxime's only like 2% behind with the whole vote. And I get it, our system doesn't really encourage populist politicians. I can see why they're trying to stop him from getting his message out there. And also the fact that none of the influencers want to help get his message out to draw Pierre more to the right. I don't want liberal change. I don't want liberal light, which is what the conservatives are. You know, keeping the gendered ideology, the pronouns, the he, her, they, them, letting them come into the bathroom, and like that's not conserving the country. Like, yay, Pierre's not going to let boys chop off their penises anymore. Great. That's fantastic. This is where things are going. I would love to see, like I said, a right-wing populist get some power and get some influence in the House of Commons. I don't think it'll ever happen with the way things are, but I would love to see it and try to be the voice of change to facilitate that, to save the country that I love and that I hope that you love.